Welcome to Baroque Reflections, the first event of the Anchorage Festival of Music's 65th anniversary season. My name is Corinne McVie, and I'm the board president of the AFM. Before we begin, I want to thank the entire AFM board for steering our organization through these unprecedented times and for their determination to keep the music going. My hat is off to our artistic director, Laura Koenig, and to our performers and producers who have navigated the virtual world and put together a concert I know you're going to love. I want to thank our many supporters whose volunteer time and donations have helped AFM present innovative, informative, and intimate concerts since 1956. Today's concert is certainly innovative. With the intertwining of traditional and modern elements, we're going to experience Baroque music in a new and unique way. Today's concert will definitely be informative. We're going to learn about the mysterious Mrs. Philharmonica. We're going to find out why American composer John Antis wrote a letter to Benjamin Franklin. We're going to meet a brand new instrument. You might even encounter some rare Baroque music or hear some unusual instruments for the first time. We miss seeing all of you in person, and we hope you found your own intimate setting to view the show. Maybe you're at home in your comfy chair with your cat. Or perhaps you're outside on your deck with your dog. Wherever you are, whoever you're with, thanks for joining us today. To support more music, go to anchoragefestivalofmusic.org. Click on the Give section at the top of the page and make a financial contribution by giving securely online or through the mail. With your help, we can continue to present innovative, informative, and intimate concerts and to recognize the next generation of talent through our Young Alaskan Artist Award program. Now, sit back, relax, and prepare for an amazing journey through the looking glass of your electronic device back to the Baroque era. Welcome to Baroque Reflections. Enjoy the show.
I will be performing for you today two sonatas by Domenico Scarlatti. Scarlatti was an Italian composer and prominent harpsichordist born in Naples. He was born the same year as J.S. Bach and Frederick Handel. His father, Alessandro Scarlatti, was a very prominent composer in Naples and is considered the founder of the Neapolitan School of Opera. Domenico Scarlatti composed also many operas and chamber works, but what he is most prominently known for is his 555 keyboard sonatas, which were predominantly written in the last 25 years of his life when he was in service for the King and Queen of Spain. Some musicologists consider him to be the greatest Italian harpsichord composer of all times. These sonatas are very often influenced by Spanish music and instruments like the guitar.
Dietrich Buxtehude was a legend in his time. Both Bach and Handel made pilgrimages to meet this great man. In 1705, Bach famously walked 250 miles to study with him. After promising his employer at the time he would only be gone a couple of weeks, he stayed on for many months. Buxtehude's music comes to us from a magical time in music history between the era of modal harmony and just before our modern tonal system settled. He was and is most famous for his organ music, but he wrote many masterful vocal works as well. Listen in this piece for the ground bass in the cello. It's a simple, repeating three-measure melody with an ever-changing harmony above it.
Hello everyone, my name is Julie Rose, and I'm the newest board member of the Anchorage Festival of Music. My husband and I moved to Alaska 2 years ago, and the very first community event we attended was AFM's tribute to Irving Berlin. We were inspired by the originality, creativity, and musicianship of this spirited and thought-provoking performance. We're given such a gift to have these talented musical artists in our midst as we begin the 65th season. Thank you so much for attending and supporting AFM's first virtual performance, Baroque Reflections. Please enjoy and know that we are all looking forward to gathering together again. Take care.
This next piece is attributed to A. Torelli, presumably the same composer as the cantata which Kate is singing today. The 17th century manuscript, however, was lost in World War II, and without it we really have no way of knowing who composed it or really what it should sound like. It's come to us today from a collection of Italian songs compiled at the turn of the 20th century by Albert Fuchs. And while he claims to have not changed any of the harmonies, we do know from other pieces that he altered the melodies. His realized piano accompaniments are beautiful, though they are distinctly romantic in character. So my friend Josh and I decided to make this version together in an attempt to walk back some of that romanticism. Josh has added a short introduction and interlude, and he's playing only from a figured bass score. So while we may never know exactly what the original sounded like, we think this gets it a little closer.
Giuseppe Torelli is remembered primarily for his instrumental music, including numerous string and trumpet concertos. Only a smattering of vocal works were attributed to him until 2001, when a treasure trove of musical manuscripts in Kiev was found to contain 3 previously unknown sacred pieces by Torelli. These were only recently published in 2017. The following is one of the first performances of this Torelli motet in over 300 years.
Hello, I'm Gunnar Knapp, Vice President of the Board of the Anchorage Festival of Music. I'm constantly struck by how blessed we are in Anchorage, not only in living surrounded by such magnificent natural beauty, but also in having such a thriving and diverse arts community with organizations such as the Anchorage Festival of Music to enrich our lives. That's why I volunteer my time and also contribute generously to AFM and other organizations. As a board member, I'm very aware of all the costs even an extremely efficient organization like AFM faces. Generous contributions from many of you, together with ticket sales, are what keep us going in normal years. This year, without ticket sales, contributions are more important than ever. So I encourage you to contribute to AFM by going to our website, anchoragefestivalofmusic.org, and clicking on Give. Now we're going to have a 10-minute intermission during which you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at some of the challenges of producing a virtual concert during a pandemic. Despite the hardships, the performers relished the opportunity to make music with others again. In the second half, You will learn more about AFM's new digital harpsichord. You've already had a glimpse of its versatility. You'll experience a Baroque chaconne reimagined with the modern choreography and artistry of Kelly Chase. And you'll hear music by Mrs. Philharmonica and learn why John Antis wrote to Benjamin Franklin.
Since 2000, the Anchorage Festival of Music has held an annual competition to recognize an Alaskan classical musician entering the professional field. The Ted Stevens Young Alaskan Artist Award program is unique in our state in its presentation of a promising young artist in a debut recital with a substantial monetary award. You can help sustain this program by making a financial contribution today or by purchasing a raffle ticket good for 2 round-trip coach tickets anywhere Alaska Airlines flies. The winner has until October 2021 to book their flights and can travel up to a year later. Just $25 gets you a chance to win 2 Alaska Airlines tickets or get 5 tickets for $100. Sales end December 31st and only 250 tickets will be sold. Call 907-276-2465 or email anchoragefestivalofmusic@gmail.com. Please include your contact information so that we can connect you with your raffle ticket or, better yet, tickets. It's intermission. Grab some snacks, stretch your legs, daydream about where you'll go when you win the raffle. We'll see you back in about 8 minutes for the second half of Baroque Reflections.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jerry Rubin. I'm so glad you decided to join the Anchorage Festival of Music for our first ever virtual concert. It's been my pleasure to serve on the Anchorage Board of Directors of the AFM for 5 years, 4 of those as secretary. As you know, we're celebrating our 65th year. I wish I could say I served all of those 65 years. Among my board colleagues are some exceptional musicians, some of whom you saw in the first half of the concert, others whom you'll see in the second half. Please raise a glass to the Anchorage Festival of Music as you continue enjoying the rest of this concert, and I hope you'll join us for future concerts. I'll see you there. Bye now.
Recently, the Anchorage Festival of Music acquired this wonderful Roland Classic digital harpsichord, and with the magic of technology, we have the opportunity to sample different instruments. We have 2 different harpsichords, French, Flemish. We also have 2 different organ stalks. We have the lute, we have the celeste, and we have the fortepiano, which was the predecessor of the modern grand. So this case was modeled after the 1581 Rooker Flemish harpsichord, and that is also the sampling of the Flemish harpsichord. And then we have the French. The French is a sampling of a double harpsichord from 1765 by Blanchet. The difference is very, very subtle. So we also have the lute. And now we have 2 different organs. And we have the other type of organ. And then we also have the fortepiano. And probably one of the most familiar solos for celeste So with the magic, all of these wonderful sounds all in one beautiful case.
In or around 1715, a set of 12 trio sonatas was published in London. The composer was listed only as Mrs. Philharmonica. Women in early 18th century England were encouraged to learn musical instruments. They even ventured into the more unladylike instruments such as the flute or cello. Women composers, however, and certainly music published by a woman, was rare. Who was Mrs. Philharmonica? The strongest possibility is she was a student or friend of the publisher Richard Mears, who made instruments and ran a music school. Perhaps it was a marketing ploy, or she did not want to associate herself with an activity so beneath her station. Who was Mrs. Philharmonica? She was well trained in counterpoint with great command of musical imitation and suspensions, and, if her music is any guide, she had a keen and slightly quirky sense of humor. In the mid-1780s, a collection of trios was published in London by a composer with an unusual name and moniker, Giovanni A.T.S., a self-professed American dilettante living in Egypt. Perhaps in want of protecting his true identity or hoping to capitalize on the popularity of Italian musical style, the composer was in fact the American-born John Antes, who lived in Cairo for 12 years as a Moravian minister and clockmaker. John Antes was born in 1740 in Pennsylvania. He was one of the first luthiers in America. Several instruments still survive. In 1764, Antes embarked on ministry work in Europe and Egypt, never to return to his homeland. Before leaving, Antes traveled to Philadelphia, where he introduced himself to Benjamin Franklin, a great lover of music and instrument design. In a letter to Benjamin Franklin, dated July 10, 1779, Antes makes reference to this first meeting, and he apologizes for his poor written language.
You may perhaps still remember a young man which in the year 1763 amused himself with making musical instruments such as harpsichords, violins, etc., whom curiosity and desire of learning once led to your house at Philadelphia without anything to introduce him but a little American cordiality. This man am I. The noble and generous treatment I received of you that time, when I have been an entire stranger to you, has all this many years left a deep sense of gratitude and the highest opinion of your kind and obliging character in my heart.
Well known as a composer of sacred works, Antes began to write secular chamber music while in Egypt. His letter to Franklin was accompanied by a set of 6 string quartets. They are unfortunately lost. Although he explains to Franklin that religious convictions do not allow him to personally fight for American independence, Antes endorses the cause.
May God grant soon peace to the satisfaction of all to our mother country, for which I have still the greatest regard, and wish well to every individual of it from the bottom of my heart. Pray excuse the trouble I give you with my long letter and bad language. Be assured that it comes from a cordial and sincere American heart, and give me leave to call myself, sir, your most obedient humble servant.
I discovered Robert Burns' poem, The Burks of Aberfeldy, while spending Christmas in Aberfeldy, Scotland 2 years ago. I went for a hike in the local Burks and found a plaque displaying his words, which are said to have been inspired by the very place I was standing. It was a beautiful canyon with a waterfall cascading over the craggy rocks. It was not hard to see why Burns was inspired. After tracking down the melody, I wrote this arrangement for the Anchorage Festival of Music Baroque Slumber Party concert in 2019.
Hi, my name is Barbara Kagerer, and I'm a volunteer board member with the Anchorage Festival of Music. Thank you for joining us. I volunteer with the Anchorage Festival of Music because I believe in the power of music to inspire good. Good in our local community, good in our nation, good in our world. With that thought in mind, I have a favor to ask. Will you please consider joining me in your financial support of the Anchorage Festival of Music? It's really easy to do. Just go to anchoragefestivalofmusic.org and click on Give. We understand if you can't make a financial donation right now, but let's keep in touch. Just go to our website again and give us your email address. That way we can send you updates and we'll carry this organization into the future. Thank you very much. That was the pitch from the heart. The rest, I need my notes. Our last piece for today's concert is a soprano duet from Handel's opera Alessandro. Two young women, rivals for Alessandro's affection, join together to calm his anger. Here's a lovely thought translated from this duet's Italian lyrics. Let the heart disown all wrath. Love alone should warm it. Calm your spirit. Rage is brief in a noble heart. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Thank you.